What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We're going to be starting out here with Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. So remember, each candle here represents 4 hours. And what we're looking at now is potential rejection. So we got up to yesterday around $9,473. So that was the high. We ended up closing at about 9,302 was the area that we had our last candle close. That was the highest area that we had there in terms of this uptrend that we were dealing with now. What we're having now is a short-term downtrend. Okay, so this is the reaction. Anytime a market pumps this hard, this fast and aggressive, it's always going to have to breathe. So what we need to do now is get up above $9,190. That's going to be the next high that needs to come in. So it was important here. We ended up making our high. We set our higher low here. You can see we had a hammer candle, and that basically came off this 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame here. So that was nice, but we didn't have a lot of follow through here. And what you can see is this follow through as we were trying to make it back up over top of that 9,300, we will call it. We didn't have as much volume as we would like here. If we were to make that next move up right away, we would have wanted similar volume to like we had up through here. That would be very important for us. So we had this little reaction on less volume. So now what I'm looking for is to see if the next impulse wave here in the short term, this short-term downtrend, is going to be another wave that's going to press us down. What we need to do is hold $8,504 as support. That's going to be important. That's where we set that hammer candle, and that was our higher low. But we have to see here, and we have to wait, because this reaction, we didn't have above average volume there compared to what we had coming in. So this could be the volume just drying up there, and then we have another leg to the downside that we need to be aware of. But still, guys, as I've talked about, throwbacks are extremely common, and sometimes it can take 8 to 10 days. After a move like this, we could come all the way back and test right where we broke out before we potentially move again. But right now, this is a lower high. And what you can see with this volatility stop here on the 4-hour, you can see that it is that short-term downtrend. So that's showing you where, if you were shorting, you would want to put your stop loss right there, which I would not recommend shorting Bitcoin in this scenario going into the halving and all that, guys, unless you used a really tight stop loss, but the trend has been up. You don't want to go against the trend. I've had people ask me that, do you want to short Bitcoin? I do not want to short Bitcoin right now. That is not the business I'm in. I'm looking for good opportunities to the upside. And when I see good profit, I'm going to take it. That just is what it is. And then I'm going to wait for a nice reaction. And then we're going to see where this higher low plays out. We had it right in here off that 8,500. Then we had a lower high, and then we're going to have to see if we still set a higher low and maybe get into one of these pennants or a little symmetrical triangle before we have that next move to the upside, if we're going to break to the upside. Remember, guys, trends, I was reading about it last night. Trends are not guaranteed. They can end at any time. It can be within a week. You can have a little short-term trend and that goes away, or an intermediate-term trend of months that all of a sudden ends, or a longer term. It just is what it is, and that's the guys who are successful, the ones who are going to pick the trend up early when it starts, and when it starts to run out of steam, they're going to take their profits. That's what they're looking to do here. But right now on the 4-hour, we are having this lower high here. So until we break up through this previous area with the candle closes of 9,291, that's going to be the high that we need to get over. And you can see that's a previous resistance area. So both times we have this area here, and then we have this right here that we will need to get over top of. If we can get over top of that, then we can start talking about $10,000 and what we need to do with that. I have a lot I want to say once we get up above $10,000, because I think that's a huge psychological mark for us that we need to hold. I talked about that before this last drop here. I said if we can't hold $10,000, we're going to be in a lot of trouble because we've broken up through it. If you can't hold it as support, then that's going to show weakness. And that's when the people start jumping in shorting and selling and everything else. And then it collapses. That just is what it is. But for right now, those are the areas. This red line here, we need to get up over top of, which we're even going to raise that up a little bit here to about that 9,300. Then the downside, we don't want to drop much below right now that $8,500. If we do break below that, then that will be we'll have a lower high and another lower low that would come in. So then we'll have to start evaluating things again. But for me right now, this is just an area I think I want to wait more. I took some profits. I was happy with that. I know some other people took some profits on the pump, and now it's waiting for another great opportunity, and I haven't seen it yet. Not there yet. I just really want to see us get up above this area with a strong break, strong conviction. And even there, we still have some resistance areas to get through, but we could have a nice little shot to try to get back to $10,500 and challenge that. Because overall, if we take a look at this, guys, and this is what I've been talking about for you here, we overall are still in a macro downtrend here. You could draw a trend line all along this, and we're basically at that area now. We'll even do it together. So we'll go right up into here and we'll draw a trend line down through, and you can see we're basically running right up into that trend line now. That's why it's so important for us to break over top of $10,500 and turn that into support. That's extremely important, but we're testing that trend line now. And that's a really big deal for us here. So that's Bitcoin, guys. That's what I'm looking at. We're just going to have to wait to see if we can get over top of that, $9,300. And if we have the potential to maybe break out of this overall downtrend, that would be a huge deal for us if we could turn that into support. But right now, those are the support and resistance areas I'm looking at for Bitcoin. You get some from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to get into Litecoin. And the reason why I like looking at the 4-hour time frame, guys, is just because I'm more of a swing trader, short-term trader. Like I said, this channel is about trading. I obviously love cryptocurrency and everything, but I'm not going to hodl when you're in a pure downtrend. You know what I mean? I'm going to take advantage of these big swings, and that's just what it is. I think trading's the most efficient thing. People are asked, do you hold any coins, hodl any coins? Yeah, I've hodled some coins from when I first got in or whatever. And in my opinion, I've done so much better trading than I have hodling, and I can compare the two and go, oh. So it is what it is. These are the swings we're looking for, like this. When the candles get really tight and you have a massive break, guys, that's a huge move. Some big markets don't move that much in a whole year. And if you can take advantage of that, that's what you're looking for. So in terms of Litecoin now, Litecoin support, we set our higher low. And we ended up setting our higher low off the real bodies at $46.31 there. But same deal like with Bitcoin. Now we have the potential to set a lower high. So here's our high, lower high. And the best we can really kind of do here is get in an equilibrium pattern, which we'll have to look at as well. But for me, I don't want to go a ton below 46.31. If we do drop below that, then I would look down most likely to this 200 moving average. That could be back tested on the 4-hour time frame, and that's going to put you at about 42.60, which wouldn't be a bad opportunity either. If you're looking at that, that kind of correlates with this white trend line. So that's what I mean, guys. We're still in that really pure, nice uptrend. You can see each time these higher lows have been coming in, the buyers are stepping in. We just have to be careful of this area up here because we did have heavier volume, had a heavier sell-off here. And that is heavy volume there. So there's a lot of people taking their profits up in this area. See that? But it's important that we turn this into support so we can try to come up again. We hit $51. So that's going to be the next area that we have to get up above. You can see it. We hit it here, and we hit it back over here. So that definitely is going to have 2 points there. That's going to be a tough area to get up and through, but that's going to be the next resistance area. And like I said, support, we're looking at about 42.60 if we really start falling to the downside there. But it's nice that as we've been in this uptrend, we're making really nice support areas here. So we have areas as we come back that we potentially could find support. It's not just big, huge drops or huge pumps up through here. We got a lot of support build, and that is a good thing for you there. Volume is below average, like we talked about on this little reaction back up. So that's why we just have to watch this, because in the very short term here, we're in a little bit of a downtrend now, and that's just that relief. You see, even here, after a big, massive pump, guys, the market had to breathe, and then it made its next move again. Big pump here, the market had to breathe. It always has to breathe. It's like a human being, okay? So really watch that volume. That's something that I can tell you. I'm keeping an eye on the stock down here. But for me right now, I'm not at a re-entry point right now. That's just me. So guys, you get something from that. You're part of the Litecoin family. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being there for Litecoin, and then we'll move into Ethereum. And we'll take a look. So ETH's at $211 right now. Same deal. This uptrend has looked really nice. It just really has been steady. It's been consistent. We're having those nice higher lows coming in, higher highs coming in. And what we ended up doing was trying to turn $205 into support. That was an important area. We kind of had a little tweezer bottom there for that higher low. And we're looking to see if we can get up above now that $225, which we hit, which is also a congestion area over here. So this could be tougher resistance for us that we need to get up above. If we can break that, then we're going to be looking up to around $247 is the area we're going to look at. And then it'd be up around that 278. Those are the upsides. Downside, I would probably say, even that 200 moving average, guys, that's going to be a big one for us, as well as this yellow trend line. If we continue to extend this, we don't want to break that. And I would say as well this 50 moving average, because we've been up above it now since April 16th. So that's obviously significant. We've been finding support off that we want to look at. And that's at about $198 is what you're going to have for Ethereum there. So those are the support and resistance areas. But I would also extend this out a little bit for us. What we're trying to do is get as many touches as we can, guys. We probably put it about right in that area. but this is an important trend line because it's been established for a long time now, and it's not a super steep trend line either. If you take a look at this and you do the trend angle, we put it on here, we're looking about 25% grade there, so that's nothing too crazy. Sometimes you can get up into the 50-60%, and you can really have those, quick trend line breaks, but that's not what we're dealing with right here. So guys, that's what I wanted to bring to you today. I appreciate y'all being here with me today. If you get something from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Like I said, people who just put thumbs up or an exclamation point or my name or whatever down there, it really helps the algorithm out, and it helps us get out to more people to try to help people in this wild space. I mean, this space, as you know, is a wild Mustang here, and I want to try to help people. But remember, if you're new to trading, guys, and you haven't been doing this for a while, and you're in the most volatile space in the world, you definitely need to be using simulators and things like that to just practice with play money, and then started in the micro trading. And that's still what I'm doing, guys. Even after all this time, I play very small positions so I can really learn this stuff, so when the time comes, you can strike. That's what you want to do. So guys, that's what I'm doing. But always just do the virtual simulators. Those can really help you, and it can just make you look at the market in a different way. So wanted to give you that out there, guys. God bless you all. Take care. Like, subscribe. Appreciate you being here.